Hello, welcome to the storytelling program, Tell Me a Story. We have 4 activities today, and by the end of these 4 activities, you will be able to identify the characters' actions, thoughts, and feelings. The first activity is the storytelling. You need to listen, and you need to listen well, because after this activity you will evaluate and you will need to give constructive feedback. So you need to listen and to observe well. The story is a story from Iraq, and the title of this story is The King and the Cockerel. I will tell you a little bit about the story. It is about a small cockerel, a brave, smart cockerel who wanted to be listened to, but unfortunately he was not. So he made sure that he was heard. Once upon a time, there was a brave, smart cockerel. He lived in a cottage with an old lady. She was very kind at heart, but she was very poor. Every morning, the cockerel went down to the deep end of the cottage garden, and there he stayed, packing and scratching and looking for food. One day, as he was scratching and packing, he saw something glittery. But what was it? He packed some more, and there he saw a gold coin. Ah, a gold coin! I will take this to the old lady. She will buy food and we will have a feast. As he said that, the king was walking by the cottage. There he was, with a crown on his head and his nose up in the air. But he too saw the gold coin, and he jumped over the fence. He bent down, picked up the coin and put it in his pocket. He jumped over the fence again and he walked back to his castle. The cockerel was very angry and he shouted, "That's not fair! That's not right! The coin is mine! I found it! Give it back!" But the king walked away. He did not listen. When the king had supper, there was a lot of food to eat, and he ate and ate and ate. He drank some wine, and there he was, ready for bed. He put on his silk pajamas, and he put on a velvet sleeping hat, and he tugged in under the blankets and the sheets that smelled so nice and fresh. He put his head on a very soft pillow made of feathers. As he was about to sleep, outside his bedroom window, on the windowsill, there was the Cockerel. And he went, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! I'll scream and shout with all my might. That's not fair. That's not right. The coin is mine. Give it back." The king woke up and he called out his guard. "Guard! Guard! Get rid of the Cockerel out there!" The guard hurried inside. He opened the window and he took the Cockerel by his neck, closed the window again, and he walked out of the bedroom. He went into the garden. There was a tank full of water. It had a very heavy lid on it. He took off the lid and he put the Cockerel inside and left it there to drown. He put back the heavy lid and he went away. But what do we know about the Cockerel? The Cockerel was brave. The Cockerel was smart. And he drank the water in the tank until he was safe. Later, the guard went back to the tank, and again he lifted the heavy lid. And as he opened the tank, out flew the Cockerel, and over the guard he went. The king was dreaming of food. He was dreaming of banquets. He was snoring, and the Cockerel was on the windowsill outside the bedroom. And he went together. "Cock-a-doodle-doo! I'll scream and shout with all my might. That's not fair. That's not right. The coin is mine. Give it back. Cock-a-doodle-doo!" Went the king. "Guard! Guard!" And the guard hurried inside the bedroom. "That Cockerel! Take it away from here! I want to sleep!" And the guard opened the window. He got the Cockerel by the neck. He closed the window again and he walked out of the bedroom. This time the guard went down into the kitchen, and there was the oven. The oven had burning logs inside with fire flaming, going up, all those flames. And he opened the door and he threw the Cockerel inside, thinking that he would eat the Cockerel later. But what do we know about the Cockerel? The Cockerel was brave. The Cockerel was smart. And he just opened his beak and went, and out came all the water that he drank from inside the tank. And the fire hissed, and he put out the fire. and he was in there until the oven was cool. Later, the guard came and he opened the oven door, thinking that he would eat Cockerel later on. But the Cockerel was fast, and as soon as the oven door was open, the Cockerel flew out. Over the guard he went. Now the king was dreaming. He was dreaming of money. He was counting his money. He was putting his money into bags. When, all of a sudden, from outside the bedroom window, on the sill, there was the Cockerel, and he went together. Cock-a-doodle-doo! I'll scream and shout with all my might. That's not fair. That's not right. The coin is mine. Give it back. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Again the king woke up and shouted, "Guard! Guard!" And the guard walked in very fast. "Take away that Cockerel! I want to sleep!" And the guard opened the window and he took the Cockerel by the neck. He closed the window again and he walked out from the bedroom. And this time he went to the garden where there was this white box. And from inside you could hear bzzz. Yes, there was a beehive. And the guard opened the white box and he put the Cockerel inside to be stung by the bees and to die. But the Cockerel, what do we know about the Cockerel? He was brave, he was smart, and he went and he swallowed all the bees inside without even chewing them. And there he was again, outside the box, because the guard came to see if he was dead. But as he opened the white box, the Cockerel flew out and over the guard he went. Yes, he was outside the bedroom window on the sill again when he went cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo. I will scream and shout with all my might. It's not fair, it's not right. The coin is mine. Give it back. Guards! This time the king did not say guard. He called for guards. And 5 guards walked in the bedroom. Get rid of that Cockerel! I want to sleep! And the guards went to the window. They opened the window, but they were not fast enough because the Cockerel was brave. The Cockerel was smart. He flew over their heads and went and all the bees came out and the bees were stinging the guards. "Oh, my face! Oh, my neck! Oh, my hand!" And the king went, "Stop!" Everyone stopped. "Give the cockerel the gold coin, or I will never sleep." And that is the end of our story today. I do hope you have been listening well, because now it is time for you to tell us. What was your favorite moment in the story and why? What did you like about the way that the story was told? Have you been listening? Have you been observing? Okay, constructive feedback. If you were telling the story, what would you change or add to the way it was told? The second activity is phone call home. By the end of this activity, you will be able to describe and explain actions, thoughts, feelings in the role of a character in the story. So you would need 2 chairs back to back. The teacher can be the mother. Let us suppose that this phone call is for mother, and you want to tell your mother what happened to you. And one of the students will be one of the characters. There are quite some characters. Maybe the old lady. In that case, she would phone a friend. Maybe she would want to tell her that the cockerel found this gold coin and she bought food and she wants to invite her home. Maybe you would like to be the king and he's going to phone his mother, or the cockerel, or one of the guards, or a bee inside the beehive. You can choose these things beforehand. So, we're going back to the 2 chairs, okay? The teacher is the mother, and one of you is one of the characters in the story. I want to be the cockerel, and I'm going to phone Mum. Drin, drin. On the other line, there's Mum. Hello. Hello, Mum, it's me. Hello, dear, how are you? Do you know what happened to me today, Mum? And the cockerel is going to tell his mum what happened. But mostly maybe he wants to tell her how angry he was at the king, because he really wanted to be listened to. So the teacher can help with such questions. Being the mum, she would ask, "And what did you do?" And the cockerel would tell her that he had to go to the palace. And she can also ask, "And what did you think?" And the cockerel can say, "Well, I thought that was very unfair. I thought that was not right." And maybe she would say, "And how did you feel?" And the cockerel would say, "I felt angry, I felt frustrated." You see? So this activity will bring out the actions, the thoughts, and the feelings. And this is what we want you to do and bring out by the end of this activity. Then you can change roles. Whoever was the mum can be a character, and whoever was the character can be mum. The third activity is called interview, or sometimes we call it hot seats. You are going to have somebody sitting down on a chair, hot seat, and that somebody is going to sit in front of you, like I am doing now, and you, as an audience, would ask questions to a character from the story. So by the end of this activity, you will be able to use questions for information because you want to know more. You will be able to talk about and describe the role of the character in the story. So the teacher is going to be interviewed. You want to know more information about her character, being the king, being the cockerel, whoever. Somebody is going to help the teacher with, not a marker now, I'm going to use this as a microphone. You will put your hands up, your friend will come with the microphone, and you will ask a question. You are going to use who, when, where, how, what, why, because all these will give you more information, will give you the information you need. So, anybody can be interviewed. You would need a few minutes, let's say 2 minutes would be enough to think of a question. So, by the end of this activity, you will gain more information about that character. Activity number 4 is called Conscience Ellie. By the end of this activity, you will be able to evaluate a problem. But you will not just only evaluate a problem, you will justify a solution to the problem. What is conscience? Conscience is something that you feel inside. Something is going on in your mind. You keep asking yourself, did I do this right? Maybe I didn't do this right. And you keep asking yourself questions. It's like you get these mixed feelings and thoughts. Most probably, you would need somebody to help you make up your mind. The activity will go like this. The teacher is going to take the role of a character, and she is going to walk through an alley. I suppose that you all know what an alley is. We have many alleys in our towns and villages. The alley is that very narrow street. Sometimes it leads to somewhere, but sometimes it doesn't lead to anywhere. Sometimes they are even numbered. Alley number 1, alley number 2. The teacher is going to be the king. She chose to take the character of the king. So I will not call her the teacher anymore. As from now on, I'm going to call her the king. The king is going to walk down the alley. There's this group, Group A, and this group, Group B. So you are going to split into groups. You are all going to stand at the side of the alley. Naturally, you have to take care of social distancing. As the king is walking through the alley, he has some problems. He doesn't feel that it was right to give the coin back to the cockerel. Yet he feels that it was not his gold coin at the end of the day, so he has these mixed feelings. And you, in two groups, are going to help him find a solution to his problem. The king does not say anything, and for you to remember, he may use a thinking bubble. He will just go in front of the first student from Group A, and Group A are going to be in favor of what the king did. But Group B will not be in favor of what the king did. So maybe the first student in Group A may say, it was right to take the gold coin from the cockerel. What does a cockerel need a gold coin for? You see? You don't just say it was right to do this or that. You justify. What does a cockerel need a coin for? And I'm going to give you an example from Group B. The first student, naturally the king, with the thinking bubble, is going to look at the student, make eye contact, and maybe the student will say, my dear king, the cockerel did not live alone. He lived with a very poor lady. You had a very good supper. Don't you think that the old lady too deserved to have a good supper? So, the first person from Group B justified what she said. And it goes like this until the king gets to the end of the alley. But when he gets at the very end of the alley, the king needs to think. What did Group A say? Maybe they are right. And then you will think, and what did Group B say? And this is where the king will have to decide. Group B were very right. That was not my coin. I should not feel guilty about giving the cockerel the gold coin back, because yes, the gold coin was his. He was the one who found it first. So there you would have helped the king to solve the problem. And this is the end of the third session. I hope that all the activities have been fruitful, that you have enjoyed, and that you will join us again for the fourth session. Until then, goodbye.